Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. The Delhi blast investigation has reached a critical stage. A 1 minute 21 second undated video of the suicide bomber Dr. Umar Nabi has surfaced, featuring him speaking in fluent English. In the video, Umar describes suicide bombing as a misunderstood concept and refers to it as a martyrdom operation. What's more shocking is his assertion that many argue against suicide bombing as if it's debatable. He concludes by stating that one cannot determine the time or place of their own death. We're exercising extreme caution and not airing the video, but this raises serious questions. What does this tape indicate about Umar's psychological status and his terror plan? Joining us to discuss this further are our guests. They will be joining us shortly. In fact, we have Major General J.K. Bansal, defense expert, live with us. Bhaskar Rao, former police commissioner, is live with us. Asta Aluwalia, psychologist, is also joining the broadcast. Major General Bansal, let me begin with you first. What do you make of this sensational video that has come out? The date is not yet known, but it could be soon before he took this extreme step. What does it tell us about his psychological status, also about his plan and his connection with this blast, which now increasingly does look like a suicide operation?
Good afternoon, Uday. To me, this video appears to be that he was trying to make a video to influence other colleagues and to circulate it. If you care, I have seen the video and carefully one observes, he is not very good at speaking, and he was referring and seeing again and again some text maybe on computer or on written page, and he was repeating those sentences again and again. And he was trying to make this video, trying to edit it in the form that yes, so that he can influence other white collar educated people by using all these words repeatedly. He used that suicide bombing is one of the very misunderstood concept. It is a martyrdom operation, and the one is going to know where he is going to die, time and place. So by this video, this was made long back, and not a very good recording place also, because background sound or some proper mic was not there. So I think he was rehearsing to make a video to popularize himself as a motivator. Of course, he was totally radicalized, and his ideology itself shows that he has done this. And this university, this university appears to be involved in such kind of thing, because the FIR was already there by the University Grant Commission and NNEC for some false mispresentation and this accreditation. So everything was going, and it is not understood how this 3,000 kg, this ammonium nitrate came over there. So this the involvement of university is also in question, and now the ED and NIA, they are doing, and this was found in his laptop. The further investigation will tell what is exactly it is. But to me, firsthand, I feel that he was trying to make a video and rehearsing it again and again to circulate in the associate and other colleague. Back to you there.
Right. In fact, Bhaskar Rao, former police commissioner, also live with us. Bhaskar Rao, what do you believe was the intention behind this video, and what kind of further clues will it give the investigating agencies?
See, educated people are now being drawn into the terror infra. So this was some kind of an appeal, like how the Learned General was mentioning, that to draw in more people and radicalize them. This is nothing but a radicalization tape. Because suicide bombing in Islamic terror is nothing new. We have come across several instances where they have died while carrying the bomb with them. They have died along with the bomb, and they have deliberately killed themselves also, like what you have seen. They learned how to fly and went and crashed into the WTC over there. So this is an attempt to ensure that over the ground people come into the fold of terrorism, and they also become part of this Islamic terror, or rather to see that the fear of suicide is not there. Though suicide is, what he's saying, is not permitted in Islam. Suicide is not permitted in any religion for that matter. It is not permitted in Hinduism also, nor in Jainism, nor in Christianity, nowhere. God has given life, so you ought to live your life all along over there. So this is an attempt to get more people who are hesitant or fence sitters, that you should do something courageous and don't shirk from your responsibility. And as regards Islamic terror is concerned, it has no national boundaries. It is only saying that sacrifice yourself for the greater good of Islam, and you will be rewarded for the life that you have sacrificed. So the huge number of youngsters, they have joined ISIS in Islamic State of Syria and Iraq. They have gone over there. Several places they have volunteered to go, saying that they are going there to defeat or defend Islam over there. So this is radicalization at its highest pitch over there. There is radicalization through crypto messages also, and through YouTube, etc., etc. So any person who is sort of vulnerable will feel that it is a matter of pride to give his life for the sake of his religion. So this is just shopping for bombers.
Okay, let me in fact also get in Astha Ahluwalia. Astha Ahluwalia, what do we learn about his psychological status, his justification of suicide bombings, his indoctrination techniques, through this video? We don't quite know the date, but perhaps it was not too long before the Red Fort blast date.
So I don't think this video is just a simple man speaking and talking about radicalized ideas. I think it is a product of a long psychological pipeline that is aimed to redefine violence. It is aimed to redefine what suicide bombing really looks like. And what such things highlight is that this is a gradual process which is driven by identity vulnerability. It is aimed at people who feel that they are unseen, wronged, or alienated, because anger is the easiest emotion to trigger in a human being, and the easiest emotion to pull people into a very black and white kind of ideology and thinking. And these videos then become narrative takeovers where extremist groups give a ready-made story that explains why suffering offers purpose, belonging, meaning, etc. And it's almost like a moral reframing where violence is reframed as duty, sacrifice, and even divine purpose. And then these spaces become echo chambers for reinforcing religious stories, religious narratives that are there. And most oftenly, the this is to recruit emotionally vulnerable youth, create a very heroic narrative around violence, give a more religious and more moral language which overrides natural empathy that most people share. And the aim is to evoke the outrage or fear, that allows a human being. And these are very obvious psychological tools that most people use. Fear and anger are very, very easy emotions to trigger in human beings. And these then become crafted to influence anyone who is already on the edge. And that's how people often get pulled in. And if we look at his video, there is almost like a calmness in the way he is speaking. There is composure, there's confidence, and a lot of conviction. But this calmness may not necessarily be looked at as calmness or mental stability. In fact, it signals to an ideological certainty, a very strong belief system. When somebody is deeply indoctrinated and is emotionally completely flat to, and rehearsed to experience or feel anything else, they're not speaking from themselves anymore. They are speaking for, an internalized script which is already present in their mind. And this becomes a very easy lure to bring in people to believe this narrative.
Right. Let me also, in fact, quickly go back to then Major General Bansal. At the end of the day, of course, this seems to have been, made with a purpose. What do you believe that purpose was, according to you? And also, do you believe that this does tell us about the educated radical which exists in society?
I feel what we call it, but setting an example by himself. So he planned well in advance that he will do the suicide bombing, maybe long back, and then he tried to convince his colleague or white collar people that yes, suicide bombing is a martyrdom operation. So that's what he want to convey. And he also realized that once he will do this operation himself, and he will do the martyrdom operation, then the people will be to whom he is going to, or this will be circulated, they will have the more effect, because by doing itself, that the setting an example by doing motivate people more. So that must be his idea, and that is why he was again and again repeating. And I feel that as such, he is not a good influencer by speaking, because there are so many people who can influence people by ex tempo speaking, very making appeals, and they can motivate people. He was trying to make a video by rehearsing, by editing, that yes, he will do one day this suicide bombing, and will call it as the martyrdom operation. And then once after that, this video will go to other people, so they will get influence, and they will also follow his path. And because it's very difficult to radicalize the people, this white collar, the intelligent people, they think number of time what will happen. It's easier to radicalize who are not that, the IQ is not that big or high. They just get away by the emotional appeal. But he's trying to justify. That's what I feel, that
Yes.
yes, that was his motive and purpose.
Okay. Now, the big question also, though, is, as to who perhaps shot this video. Let's look at that now. Where was this tape shot? Were there any people in the same room while Umar was recording this terror tape? We've tried to analyze the room where the video was shot. Here's what we found. Let's tell our viewers more about what we discovered. Now, this is, of course, what we discovered through this video that, of course, has been released now, or rather has been discovered now. It's undated, of course. He's wearing a great T-shirt in this video, Umar, the main accused terrorist in the Red Fort blast incident. He also has a lapel mic there, you can see. That's what he's using for his audio. He has a lapel mic there. His work table, that's right behind him, is stationed towards his right. It's on the left of the video if you're looking at it this way, but it's on his right. That's the work table right behind. Work papers, items are all scattered on the desk behind him on that table. That can be seen, of course, in this video too. The chair, though, obviously is missing from that work table. Perhaps he's using it, and he's pulled it and he sat and he shot the video, of course. There's a black jacket that can be seen also on a hanger right behind him. So right behind him, of course, you can see there in this video. There's a steel almirah also, which of course is on his left, on our right if we're looking at the video. There's a visible barcode also, which has been stuck on the almirah. One wonders what that is. You can see there a visible barcode that's been plastered there on the almirah right over there. And Umar is looking up while recording the video. He's looking up constantly while he's making the video. Could there be other people in the room who were shooting this, who were behind him? What was he looking at is, of course, the big question. The room resembles a dormitory space. It's kind of like a dormitory where he's shot this video. Could it be on the Al Falah University campus? Well, these are all questions. The door can be seen as well on this side of the almirah. That's door 1. And right side, there's a mirror put up as well. It can be seen very, very faintly, a mirror put up. And door number 2 had a metal latch on it. That's another clue that has been picked up. Door number 2 had a metal latch on it. Door is visibly ajar. The video has been shot in broad daylight. It's been taken in the day. There's daylight, of course, streaming in. Curtains were kept open as well. And there's a small balcony that can be seen as well behind the curtains. So these are all clues that we picked up, of course, from that video. Major General Bansal, the big question is, who shot this video? Was it self-made? Where was it shot? Were there other people in the room as well when Umar was shooting it? Was this shot on the Al Falah University campus? It seems like a dormitory. These are all big questions that now the investigators will have to look at.
Absolutely, you described in a very wonderful manner that it appears to be his residence, and maybe it may be self-recorded or maybe recorded by somebody else. And as you have said, I don't think that there are the many audience. His gestures are not showing that. As I told earlier also, it appears that he was seeing some script, maybe on a computer or on a written, and he was trying to make it, because he had a problem. He was stuck in between also. So this video was definitely recorded with the purpose. And one thing more, which you have told, very, very important, that there has been the T-shirt, there has been. So he wanted to convey this message to modern people that yes, you just follow this radicalization, because it's not only that the people, mostly mullah Maulvi, they go to the crowd which is more on a religious mind, but he was trying to send this message to the other of this elite crowd, or the doctors, engineers, or the educated people. That is the idea, and that is the symbol, that is the background he made. And basically, this is just as Shaheen has done, so many doctors, 200 doctors, he robbed in for this particular purpose, because to robbed in any intelligent person or a person with some kind of thinking and logic, it is very difficult unless their own colleague does this kind of thing. So that was the idea which he was doing. And this is the background, and it is definitely in a dormitory in some of the residential place, not in any office. And maybe some of his colleagues are helping him for shooting this video. Back to you then.
All right, let me in fact also quickly get in Bhaskar Rao. Bhaskar Rao, what are the clues you picked up by looking at where this video was shot, by looking at his room, by looking at other details?
See, number one, I think this video has been shot in isolation. Nobody has been a part of it, because it looks sort of like a hostel room. When something is hung over there, then there's a study desk facing the wall, and then probably the light was falling on his face from the curtain, and he must have kept the stand to record this, and it must have been recorded on a mobile phone, not any sophisticated gadget, etc. But you can also feel that there is, in the calmness that you see, there is a lot of nervousness and fear in each of his words while he pronounces that. We can make out, it almost looks like some kind of a confession statement. I've heard this kind of statements while people speak in court, while they're giving 164 statements, etc. Means some kind of a fearful step by step trying to justify that, okay, it is okay to commit suicide, you're doing it for a bigger cause and larger cause. But what is going to be more interesting is that through modern technology, we need to know who were the recipients of this message. That will throw more light on bigger investigation, which is going to go ahead. And now that NIA, NSG, FSL, J&K police, everybody is doing investigation on this matter, carrying on investigation. It will give more details with his mobile phone also, that what other things were there to substantiate, or did he write it down and read it out, or was it an extempore? To me, it looks sort of points made, then elaborated, because he is hesitant and he is extremely nervous in his speech. If you go through his speech frame by frame, you will see the kind of nervousness, head shaking, as well as body shaking, and then in his intonation. That is what we observe. We do this when we are subjecting a person to a video recorded confession. That is the typical behavior he has demonstrated. Of course, investigation will tell the truth.
Right. Asta, do you believe this video has been made, with someone else in the room? What can you make out from his behavior and body language? Or does it seem like a solitary shot video, self-made? Does it seem that he's made this video in a cold-blooded manner or under instructions? What is emerging?
To me, I think a couple of things came out. One is, I think it's probably been shot in isolation. Although it's not really a catharsis, it sounds more like a rehearsed, that you have practiced and rehearsed something and you're almost acting it out. A rehearsed narrative, a rehearsed belief system that he is trying to act out, where there is an accent, the way he's speaking. There is also, he's appearing. One very important thing to note here is, because this video may be directed towards indoctrinating or recruiting or influencing people who are educated, so the English language is used. There is no emotional snapping. Usually when you see such radical videos, there is a lot of emotion and there's a lot of screaming and shouting and a lot of very strong religious narratives. Here there is more logic along with a religious narrative. So while, like, he's framing suicide bombing as not as self destruction, but he's attaching a moral martyrdom operation element to it. So I think it's a very rehearsed space, not necessarily a catharsis, but like a video that will impact and influence a larger audience or a larger number of people who are educated and look for more than just religious, strong religious views and emotional views, but also English speaking audience which understands at least some amount of cognitive awareness and intellectual awareness. That's what I picked up from it.
Yes, absolutely. Let me take that back across to now, Major General Bansal. The fact, of course, is that his phone is still missing. Other digital devices are being looked for as well. How important are these devices going to be in the investigation?
These devices will be very useful in the sense after recording, was he able to transmit it or disseminate it to other people, other his colleagues who were in his group or otherwise. So that idea, I think, slowly will come, and it will also confirm when was it or how much, when was it recorded, because was it recently recorded before he did this blasting, or it was long back, and whether it has been circulated earlier, was it available to other phones also, some kind of already brainwashing was he able to do. And as very rightly told by Asta, that yes, he wanted to convey to educated youth, and to me it appears that at times just to influence and impress other people speaking English or conveying in English will be of some matters to the educated people, because if he will tell in some other language, maybe Hindi or any other language, so then it will not have that kind of impact. So he wanted to catch a certain important kind of audience who are educated themselves, and I think there may be that he has already transmitted or has disseminated this video, which will come after some time. And time again, it has been thought that it was a kind of rehearsal, whether it was a final video or it was just rehearsing. But he had a difficulty in recording this. He is not that a very fluent or a very seasoned person to record anything, or is a good motivator speaker. So he may be a doctor, he may be a conspirator, he may be having some kind of strategy in his mind. So he wanted to influence the people. And I don't think, as has been mentioned, whether under influence of somebody or under some instruction, I don't think that he has done at his own, because he appears to be self-motivated without any pressure. And in such kind of thing, the pressure does not work that yes, he will do under some instructions of somebody else or some religious teacher. It is that he was self-motivated, and he was self-motivated up to the extent that he won't this otherwise. If he was not self-motivated, he could have escaped from the, once he brought that car, he could have kept somewhere. So he was a self-motivated, committed person. And to me, again, I feel that yes, he was to set an example that yes, he has done the martyrdom operation by bombing, not calling it as a suicide bombing. It is a just martyrdom operation. He want to level it, and that must be his idea. Before, while he was shooting this video. Back to you then.
Right. Let me, in fact, quickly get closing comments now from, Astha first. Astha, now one wonders what the kind of, psychology will be of the other arrested individuals as well, because there seems to be a nexus, there seems to be a module. There were many others along with Umar involved. Many of them now have been arrested. At this sort of time, is it easy to break them down by the police, or do you believe the task of the investigators right now is pretty difficult in terms of the interrogation and what they'll get out of the arrested individuals at this point?
I think, of course, there is a deep extremist propaganda going on here. They are looking to expand their nexus of individuals, their nexus of belief systems and thought processes. The people who have been arrested, I think it is important to understand what their psychology is at this point of time. What is their psyche? What are the belief systems? And because these videos are psychological tools, not just statements. They are crafted to influence anyone who is already on the edge. So these are not directed to a person like you, me, or it is directed to a person who's probably sitting lonely at night and is going through his phone and reaches this video and gets, is already in a space of vulnerability and gets impressioned. So it is important to to have an understanding of till what extent has this ideology been internalized and spread, and and pick up from there and just figure out how and when can these emotions and cognitive dissonance and this self destruction, which is commanded with honor and with a lot of bravery and heroism, how can we distort that, how can we break that ideology and belief system? Because this is more about a psychological strategy, it's not just a video coming out.
All right, Bhaskar Rao, I'll give you the last word on now the investigation's priorities ahead. Okay, I think we've lost Mr. Rao there. Let's slip into a very short break. My thanks to our guests for joining us on this broadcast.